Hey, ladies, welcome back to Confident and Thriving Podcast. If you're new here, my name is Cleopatra. I am a self image and confidence coach. A lot of the things that I talk about in each episode is really to help you learn how to feel different about yourself, see yourself differently, and help you get to a place where you develop the self image and confidence to really unlock your potential. That opens the door to so many possibilities for you to be able to thrive in multiple areas of your life. So, if that's something that you are looking for, then you are definitely in the right spot. Today, we are going to be talking about something that is very important, especially for you if you are entering this new year with the mindset of I am ready to activate. I would love to step into my personal power. I would love to release things that has been holding me back, keeping me from really taking up space and doing the things that I want. So today, this video is for you if you are a woman who wants more, but the guilt. You feel guilty for wanting more. And that has really been holding you back. It's been holding you back from wanting to own your desires, from you taking up space the way that you want to. And so there's a few things that I'm going to go over today, and that is one, why? Like, why do we feel guilty for wanting more? I felt guilty for wanting more so many times in my life. So I know that I am every woman. Because of that, every other woman have experienced the feeling of guilt for wanting more. Another thing that I'm going to go over is the benefit of actually owning your desires, doing the things that you want, going after the things that you want. And then I'm going to go over how you can begin to get over that guilt. So let's go ahead and get into the episode. So, why do women tend to feel guilty for wanting more? Number one is that there tends to be a lot of shame and guilt placed on a person when they want more from themselves, when they speak about wanting more, simply because that shame or guilt can come from someone saying, "Oh, you're just being ungrateful. Why do you need more? Why do you want more? Look at other people who have less than you." And so that is one example. That is one major thing why a lot of times we feel guilty for wanting more is because we don't want to feel ungrateful. We don't want to feel as if we're not grateful for the things that we currently have. We're not grateful to be alive or our current circumstances, right? We're not grateful for the current job that we have or the current relationship that we have or just the current income or whatever it is, right? So when you feel that desire to want more, instantly we feel that shame. Instantly we can feel that guilt because you don't want to feel ungrateful. A lot of these reasons I'm taking from my own personal experience and personal experience from other women in my life. So the second one is you're scared to hurt someone's feelings, right? Whether it is a boyfriend, a friend, or a parent. When you say it, when you're like, I want more, whatever it is, you want more income, you want more pleasure, you want more, a different life experience, right? Sometimes you feel guilty because you think you're going to hurt someone else's feelings. You're going to make the other person feel that maybe you feel like you're better than them, or you're going to make the other person just uncomfortable. This tends to be in that people pleasing personality. If you have character of wanting to people please a lot, then this is definitely something that is making you feel guilty for wanting more. And then I missed a point with the shame around wanting more because of people, you don't want to feel ungrateful. Another part of that is you don't want to feel selfish. You don't want to feel greedy. We feel guilty for that, of feeling selfish, because when you decide that you want more and you begin to own that desire, you are putting yourself first in some ways. You are owning yourself. You are doing something that you want to do. And sometimes that requires a little bit of selfishness. And that can be a big part in feeling guilty, is not wanting to seem selfish or not wanting to seem greedy because you just want more in general. But there is no reason to feel guilty for that. What I believe is that, in fact, not owning your desires can actually be selfish. And so, what I mean by that is, for example, so not owning your desire to start a business, you may think that you're not being selfish, but in some ways that you are, because you are stopping yourself from giving someone else life changing experiences, life changing products, life changing services. There are people who need you to show up. There are people who need you to put your stuff out there and it's waiting for you. Think about it, right? If you have, let's say, like for people who maybe have skin issues, like acne issues, if there was no person who got out of their head and decided that I'm going to go and create some acne products for people around the world, then you wouldn't be able to experience the excitement, the solution that product brought to you. And then that's something that maybe you were craving to have. So if that product didn't exist because of someone else's selfish kind of selfishness due to insecurities, due to feeling guilty for just wanting more in general, then that blocked you from experiencing a life-changing experience. Also, I can give you an example from me, right? If I continue to be scared to show on camera, if I continue to be a shy person, if I continue to hide behind not wanting to be seen on camera, not wanting to share my opinions, share my insight, share my voice, if I decided to be selfish due to insecurities and things like that, due to guilt, and not wanting to feel selfish, maybe due to like mom guilt because putting attention into something else, then I will be stopping someone from experiencing life-changing words, life-changing products, right? Life-changing services through the coaching that I offer, the products that I offer, or just simply showing up here for free, right? Someone needs that. And one more example that I wrote down here is, if you are not owning your desire for saying you want more pleasure or you want more something in this way, like you're keeping your partner from truly knowing how and learning how to please you and the way that you want. So when you don't speak up, when you don't own a desire and say what you want, due to the guilt that you're probably going to hurt someone's feelings, you're really hurting yourself, and you're also hurting the other person who actually needs you to speak up. That is a reason to feel guilty, not to feel guilty for wanting more. So when you own your desires, there are so many benefits that you receive. Number one benefit is that when you own your desires without guilt and you own it unapologetically, the next one unlocks. The next one unlocks. It's like when you discover one thing, you discover another. So a lot of times when you think into yourself, I don't know what it is that I want. Maybe you think that. It could be that maybe you just haven't unlocked the desire that you already want. You haven't actually taken action. You haven't actually taken action on the desire that you currently have. So because of that, a new one is not going to come to your mind, is not going to unlock until you open one desire, until you actually do it, until you speak up, until you ask for more, until you take action towards it. Then it's going to just be there. But once you do, you begin to unlock new desires that brings even more excitement to your life, more purpose to your life, because you know what you want. And once you go after it, once you say it, once you speak it, once you give it to yourself, you're going to be opening a door for something else. The second gift, the second benefit of owning your desire is that you level up in your confidence. You become a more confident woman. And the reason why is because when you begin to own your desire, you are living truthfully. You are living authentically, because you're no longer hiding behind what it is that you want. You're no longer shrinking. You're no longer like staying silent. When you know you really want something, your confidence levels up. So, to give you an example of this, let's say, again, speaking about showing up online, how did I get more confident in being able to come here and show my face and speak when I was a woman who literally ran from the camera when the camera came out? I was not a girl who wanted to take pictures. I did not want to be seen whatsoever. But how did my confidence level up in just showing my face? Whether it is like, and there's always flaws, right? We don't ever feel like we're perfect, but to feel more confident in showing up how I want to, despite flaws that I may see or whatever the case may be, is because I started living truthfully. I started owning my desires, and that is you being authentic. That is you being honest with what you want. That is you trusting that you are good enough. That was me trusting that I was good enough to show up and share my ideas and share my insight and share my experience, to live truthfully and to own that desire of wanting to speak, wanting to make an impact. That's always been something that I love to do. That's always been something that, like, even when I wasn't doing it, I've always wanted to impact women in their confidence and their self-esteem, even when my confidence and self-esteem and self-image wasn't the highest. Once I started owning that part of me, my confidence has leveled up because I show up regardless. I show up, and I show up without guilt. Another benefit of owning your desires is empowerment, personal power, right? Why? Is because you are no longer in self-abandonment. You're no longer abandoning your needs. You're no longer abandoning the things that you need to make you feel good, to make you feel alive. You're no longer shrinking. When you can own your desires, you feel more empowered. When you can say, it's really unfortunate that you feel like I'm better than you. That is not the case, but I'm still going to go after this desire because that's what I want. You can come with me, but I don't think I'm better than you. That's empowerment. Being comfortable with people thinking that you're going to change on them. We have to change. We have to grow. And if someone cannot accept that, then that's very unfortunate. But when you can stay in that firmness that I'm going to go into certain environments because I want to better myself, that is empowerment. When you can say that wanting more is not being ungrateful, I'm very grateful for everything that I have, and I still want more. I still want more money because I can do more with it. I still want more love. I still want more experiences because I know that this is not just it, right? God didn't place me here to just experience this small town, to just experience a few different states. Like, I want to experience more. I want to experience more food. I want to experience more people. That doesn't make me ungrateful. And also, it also doesn't make me ungrateful to not want to work here. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. I want to work somewhere else. I want to only do work that I want to do. It doesn't make me better than anyone. I just want to fulfill my needs, fulfill my desires. That is empowerment. When you can say that, when you can do that, you will begin to feel empowered, which helps with your self esteem. It helps with how you feel about your self image, how you see yourself, because you are seeing yourself as a woman who is owning her needs, owning her desires. And that is something that is life changing. Another benefit is you become way more attractive and magnetic when you own your desires. And here is why: is because when you're owning your desires, you're more excited. Period. When you are doing what you want, when you are say, I want this, I'm gonna do it, you are more lively, you are more excited, you are more in your body and out of your head. You are literally just doing what feels good to you. And that is attractive. That is magnetic. You're not hiding, you're not shrinking, you are owning what you want, and you feel more alive because you're not no longer self-abandoning yourself. You're no longer not living truthfully, you're living authentically, and you're melting in that. You're melting in that and you feel more radiant. And so those are really like the benefits of owning your desires, on top of unlocking possibilities, unlocking your potential, right? Like you never gonna know sometimes what you're capable of until you pick at that desire of wanting to run a marathon, or wanting to start a business, or wanting to launch a passion project, or wanting to move across the world. Like you're never going to unlock your potential if you don't own those desires or the possibilities it can bring you. We're meant to own our desires. And so, what I believe is desires is God's gift to you. It is God's gift to you. It is an inner knowing, it is inner guidance. It is God telling you that this is going to make you better. This is something that you want to do. This is what I see for you. This is what I believe. Anytime I have like amazing desires now, without the guilt, without trying to fight it, I believe that I tell myself literally is that, okay, this is God's gift to me. This is a desire that needs to be unlocked because I'm meant to experience it for some reason. If we didn't have certain desires, then we're not meant to experience it, right? So if we wasn't meant to experience the simple things in life, like water and taking a nice hot shower, like we wouldn't have a desire to do that. From the little things like that, or if we wasn't meant to experience a healthy relationship, then we wouldn't desire it. It wouldn't never even come to our vision. We wouldn't even know that it was available. The thing is deep down inside that these things are available. They're available to you because you've seen it in other places. This is how that sparked that desire. It can be maybe you may feel jealous or whatever the case is. But that's just a desire, an inner knowing that this is something that you want to experience and you are meant to experience. You just have to unlock it. You just have to unlock it. So, like, there's no reason to feel guilty for that. If you see things that people have that you want to experience, it's not that they're lucky, it's that they unlocked their desires. They owned it. They own their desires without guilt, and maybe even in spite of guilt. Even while they feel guilty, they made movements. And so, if you this year you're like, listen, like I am ready to own my desires. I want to go after what I want, period, without guilt, without shame, without question. I want to go after what I want. I want to ask for what I want. I simply just want more. I want more. If this is something that you truly desire and just want to own and step into your personal power, I shared before that I'm launching a few courses, and one of the courses that I'm working on right now is called Personal Power Activation, Unleash the Fire Within You. This course is all about like lighting that fire within you, empowering you. And so I am putting it on pre-sale right now. I do plan to release this in the beginning of February, but it is on pre-sale right now. I decided to go ahead and put it. I desired to do this for you ladies. If you want to take advantage of the opportunity to grab it while it is on pre-sale, I actually have a promo code that I'm going to put in the show notes, and the show notes if you're listening on podcast, and also in the description box if you are watching on YouTube. But this course is, again, it's all about personal power activation and unleashing that fire within you. Maybe you feel stuck and you're ready to get moving. You're ready to step into being unapologetic and owning your desires and going after what you want, whether it's a business, passion project, a new career, whatever it is, this course is for you. If you want to transform how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, and just really unlocking your potential and your any possibilities and what's capable for you, then this course is for you. I recommend taking advantage of this opportunity if you have this desire. Take advantage of the opportunity because it's a pretty good pre-sale offer that I'm offering you guys. And so now, like, how do you get over that guilt so that you can go after your desire, so that you can speak up for your desire, so you can ask for your desire, so your desires, your needs, all of those things can get met? Like, how do you get past that? How do you get over that guilt? I already went over these in like small ways, but what I want you to do is begin looking at the big picture, looking past this moment, this temporary experience, and start looking at the big picture. Number one is, if I don't do this, then what? If I don't say this, then what? If I don't ask, then what? So right now, you experience this guilt, but if you ask yourself the question, if I don't like take advantage of this opportunity, you have this desire, right, for this opportunity that's coming your way. If I don't do this, then what? Who am I impacting? Am I hurting myself? Am I like lessening my needs? Am I not showing my children, my daughter, what was possible? Look at the big picture. If I don't say this, then what? If I don't say, I'm giving examples. If I don't say, I actually don't like that, I like this, then what? That is keeping someone from giving me what I actually truly want. It is keeping someone else from enjoying giving me what I want. If I don't ask, then what? If I don't ask for an increase in income, and I don't say no, instead I don't want like 40,000, I want 60, then I miss out on the opportunity for even knowing if they were gonna say yes. I rejected myself before I even got rejected. And so it is looking past the moment and thinking about the big picture. That's how you get over the guilt, because you're gonna feel guilty. You're gonna feel more guilty from that regret of not doing the thing that you wanted to do, for not saying the thing that you wanted to say, or for not asking what you wanted to ask. That's what you're going to feel more guilty for. And again, that impacts your self-esteem. So the big picture versus like this brief moment. The second way to get over the guilt is simply exposure. I talk about this, like I spoke about this in a previous episode. Exposure therapy, like sometimes you have to expose yourself to getting embarrassed. You have to expose yourself to judgment. You have to expose yourself to the things that you want and realize that it's really not that bad. It's like you didn't die. So ways to get over the guilt is expose yourself to doing something regardless of if someone else is going to feel some type of way, if someone else is going to feel like you think you're better than them, or if you hurt someone else's feelings. And expose yourself to just trying not to feel guilty. Expose yourself to that and see what happens. Another way is, the third way of getting over this guilt is releasing the shame around what it is that you want. Shame and guilt literally keeps you in bondage. Remember what I said about what I think desires of? That is one way to release the shame. Why should I feel shameful if I feel like this desire that I have is God's gift to me? There's no reason for me to feel shameful. Also, there is no reason for me to feel shameful because this is how I get to be my best self, right? So you actively looking for the positive ways, finding the positives out of you owning your desires is going to help you release the shame around it. And then also, the last one of helping you get over this guilt is getting clarity around why you feel guilty in the first place. Sometimes we don't even know why we feel guilty. To share like a quick personal story about something that recently just came up, right? Personal story. Me and my daughter, like, we were talking and we were saying, like, she asked me, like, how do people even get rich? And I said, it just came out. I said, one day we're going to be rich or just have $1 million business. Instantly, guilt and shame came over me. And I didn't know why. It just instantly came over me because I was like, why do I need that? Like, why do I want to be rich? Why do I need to have $1 million business? Remember what I talked about in the beginning of like feeling guilty, thinking like, what's the point of having all of this? Is it just for me? For seeming greedy? Just the negativity around like people who want to have $1 million business or just saying we're going to be rich, right? And so I felt instant guilt. And it was bothering me for a few hours. And then I was like, okay, I need to get clarity around why the hell I feel guilty. Because like, I don't like this feeling. And then I was like, okay, get out of the moment, get out of this temporary experience and look at the big picture. Look at the big picture. And I was like, okay, besides just me, like, why should I not feel guilty for even having a desire to be rich? Why shouldn't I feel guilty for desiring or even having a thought of having $1 million business? And I was like, legacy, right? Like, for my daughter, if I think about everything right now and I look at everything around me, it's okay, like, why do you need all of this? But when I start thinking about years from now, when my daughter gets older, right, I don't want her to freaking struggle like I've had. I don't want her to like just take a job just because. I want to have her to have like opportunities. I want her to be able to just have money in a place that, like, if she didn't want to work for some time, she didn't have to. And I know that sounds crazy, like working is important, but what if you want to take a 2-month vacation or something like that? Like, these are things like that. I don't want her to ever have, like, to want or need, especially when it comes to finances. And then also, maybe what if she has children, right? Like, that money gets passed down to them and then their kids, and maybe the business could get passed down to her. So that's one big part. And honestly, if that was like the only reason, that's more than enough. And also, if the only reason for you wanting your desire is because of you, that is also more than enough. If I said I want to be rich because I want to experience what it feels like to be rich, that is good enough, and I shouldn't feel guilty for that. So giving yourself reasons of why you shouldn't feel guilty can help you get over that guilt. And so that is it for today's episode, ladies. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope it sparked something within you for you to activate into your power, your personal power this season, and unlock another level of confidence and self-worth and just owning you and your desires. I will see you guys and speak to you in the next episode. Bye, ladies.